Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the channel. Quick little video for you today about the DS250 again. Got another two mods actually. One is already installed. I'll tell you about that here in a minute. But as you can see sitting on the seat, I got a slip-on exhaust for this thing. It's a big gun, makes it a slip-on exhaust. I've talked about it in my previous videos. The exhaust seems pretty restrictive on this. I did not order the header. I just got the slip-on for now. From a lot of information I've been reading, the biggest change to power on this thing is going to be the clutch kit. So I'm going to start with the slip-on for now. I did rejet the carburetor, so super easy on this machine to rejet the carburetor. I don't yet know how it affects because I haven't started it yet. I rejetted it last night. I'm going to throw a slip-on now and then give it a start, see how she runs. But it basically went up from a 105 main to a 110. And slow speed, the idle jet, factory's at 35, went up to a 38. So that's one size up on the slow and two sizes, I believe, on the main. This machine runs super lean stock, so even just not even putting the exhaust on it, I think that would have been an improvement and not made it run too rich. Probably would have made it run just right. I changed the clip setting, which I had originally had down on the needle, back up to the middle since I went up in the jet sizes. So this way there's a little bit something to play with. If I have to move it down and richen it up anymore, I can fine tune it with that. So we're gonna get the slip-on installed. Again, big gun Evo exhaust. You can see the pipe diameter is much bigger than, if you look at this, my hand next to that pipe, and then look at my hand next to the factory pipe here, it's almost the size of my thumb. So it looks like there may be a little bit of a reducer at the end there where the clamp is to get it to the factory size. But it should open up the breathing a lot better and get this restrictive, gigantic monstrosity off the back. Help it breathe a little bit better. So we'll get that installed and then we'll give you some sound clips on that. Let you know what I think. And you guys can let me know what you think of how it sounds in the comments. All right, so I got it off. I got to be honest, that took all of 3 seconds to get that slip-on off. Now, granted, this is a fairly new machine. Doesn't have many hours on it. I would say 15 hours maybe. So, and I keep it super clean. So it came right off. One bolt right here for the clamp. They are 12 millimeter, and then two 12 millimeter bolts that attach it to the frame. It comes right off. You can see the difference between the new one and the old one. Look how tiny that pipe is on the factory one, and how restrictive that can is. So it should help it breathe a lot better, I would think, just in looking at it. So the header pipe will probably make a big difference too. Maybe we'll do that down the road and add it. But for now, we're going to go with this and the jet kit, see what we get out of it. Next up after here, we'll do a clutch kit, and then maybe down the road we'll do the header pipe. But I kind of wanted to see how the jetting would work out with the slip-on and kind of do it in phases, you know what I mean? Experiment a little, see what works, what doesn't work. This way you guys can kind of learn from my mistakes a little bit. If it's not worth it doing a header pipe, then you save yourself some money. So obviously it's not a big horsepower machine, a 250, so this should benefit quite a bit just from the slip-on and the bigger jets. So I'm gonna get this on. We'll give you a show and a sound clip on how that looks. All right, guys. So here you have it. Got the exhaust installed. I will tell you, there was a couple of little issues. From the first part of this video to today, what you're seeing, has been a week gone by. And I'll show you why right here. You can see right here where the slip-on meets the factory pipe, there's a gasket in there. That gasket is not reusable. It does not come with the slip-on. The slip-on is much bigger than the factory pipe, and so you need that. I tried prying it out of the old pipe, and it just falls apart in a million pieces, so it's not usable. reusable, I should say. So ordered a new one, took about a week to get it. So it's here. Exhaust is installed. I'm kind of fine tuning the carburetor still. I have currently 2 sizes up on the Pilot Jet at a 40. Stock is a 35. Then you can go to a 38, then a 40. I have a 40 in there right now on the Pilot Jet. And then I have a 115 in the main. I'm thinking I'm going to knock the main down to a 110. I had it at a 110 and then stock Pilot. It was backfiring on deceleration coming down tidal. So I put a bigger Pilot Jet in there and I upped the main one more. I'm thinking I can stick with the Pilot Jet as is and then lower the main down one. I'm going to play with it a little more, but she rips right now. Definitely you can feel it in the mid-range and low range for sure. No more top end. I tried that trick again, but hasn't gained any top end speed, but definitely more mid-range and low range. So was it worth it? I think so. Good upgrade. Sounds a lot better. I did put the quiet core insert in it, as you just heard it now. That is with the quiet core. Without it, it is unbearably loud. So I would say if you're going to order this, order the quiet core insert as well. It's like $12 extra. And put that in there because it is extremely loud without it. So if you think that is loud, can imagine how much louder it was without the quiet core in there. So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely worth the money in my opinion. It was like $220, $230 for the slip-on. I ordered a Jett kit on Amazon for like $15. It was delivered next day. It's got all the assorted sizes. So definitely worth it in my opinion. Nice little upgrade, gives it a little sound. Definitely helps with the acceleration for sure. With that now in the 14-tooth sprocket, I'm going to probably leave it as is for a little bit. See what my daughter thinks of it. She hasn't driven it yet. I just took it for a test drive now. I'm kind of still fine-tuning the carburetor, so I'm going to play around with that a little more, just to get it perfect. And then, all right, so one last thing. Did some fine-tuning on the carburetor. Took it for a couple more test drives. I did settle on a couple more changes I made. Jetting the carburetor is super easy on this thing. I mean, I must have changed the jets 4 or 5 times before I got it right and where I wanted it. You just take the float bowl off. There's 3 screws. Drain the gas out of it, obviously first, and turn the gas valve off on the other side of the bike. Turn the flathead screw. Here, let me go around to the other side. I'll show you. Turn the gas off. Drain the bowl into something. It's going to come out this hose. Once the bowl's empty, just take out these 3 Phillips screws, little short, stubby Phillips screwdrivers. All I used. Took those out. Laid the float bowl down. The 2 jets stick out, the main and the idle jet. I ended up settling on a 115 main. Factory main jet is a 105, so that's up quite a bit. And then the idle jet on the last clip here you saw on this video where the machine was running and idling with the sound of the exhaust. You can tell at idle it was a little stumbly, so it was running a little too rich at idle, I think. So I knocked it down to a 38 again on the idle jet. I started off with that and then one size up on the main, and felt okay. Was kind of playing around with it a little bit. Went back to the stock idle jet and went up another size in the main, and it was a lot of deceleration, popping and backfiring. So I ended up settling on, after a bunch of runs and a bunch of different tries, a 115 main and a 38 idle jet. I did go up to the 40. I was running a little too rich at idle, which you might have heard in the sound clip. It was a little bit of an uneven idle. Now with the 38, it idles nice and smooth. So just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on that. It's the final jet settings on this with this exhaust. I mean, obviously that's going to change for everybody, but for example, I am about 2,000 feet to 2,500 feet above sea level, where I currently live, where we ride right here, where I'm test driving it. So figure that, anything sea level and up, that would probably be a good jet setting to start at. Anything higher than 3,000, you may have to, run smaller jets, because obviously the higher elevation, the richer you're going to run, because the air is thinner. So, but I want to show you too. I got this jet kit off Amazon. It's like, I want to say $15, $16. Comes with all the different sizes for this carburetor. A whole pile of pilot jets, whole pile of main jets, and then it also comes with, the little tiny brushes and stuff, so you can clean the jets and clean the carburetor out, which I thought was pretty cool. They throw that in there. So anyway, that's it. She's purring like a kitten now. So my daughter took her for a little test drive. Sounds great. She felt a difference, and just going up the block, you can feel the acceleration is much better now. So smash that like button, guys, if you liked it. More to come. We'll see how it does here for a while with this, and then I don't know, we'll see what's next. You guys got any ideas, something you want me to try, let me know. Leave a comment below, like the videos, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share them with your friends. Helps out me quite a lot, so I appreciate everybody who has subscribed so far, and those of you who have stuck with the channel since the beginning. Greatly appreciate it. More content coming on the rest of the fleet here. Got another video coming up soon about the RZR, and then we'll have some more Raptor stuff. I'm probably going to do something on that little guy over there, the YFZ50, for any of you who have little ones, and do a little walk around and review on that. It's a nice little quad for a beginner. So thanks for tuning in. Ride safe out there. We'll see you on the next one. All right, so one last thing.